Hello, secondary staff. I want to make a quick video on breakout rooms. I know there's been a huge request for breakout rooms. Unfortunately, as we are not a Google Enterprise school, but just a Google Basic school, we don't have this feature built into Google Meet. However, there are ways to work around this. So I'll go through three different options. One is through chat, the second is through calendar, and the third is through Google just Meet itself. Okay, so this is chat here. And chat was the one that we started with a year ago when COVID started. So you can make these rooms here. So you just click on the plus button and you can name this as group 1 if you want or something. You create a room and then you add students to this room. So you add people here. You can search their names. And then when you add these students, you can either direct them to chat to find this group 1 to enter, or you can share, you can create a Meet. So you'd have to make a Meet link down in this comment box down here. So you just make a link here and then you post it. And then this would be the group, the link for this one particular group, or you can open up this Google Meet and then copy and paste that link, etc. However, something to consider is students do have the ability to delete other students, so I would not recommend this route, but I just wanted to show you that option. As with all three options that I'm going to present today, the teacher will always have the ownership of the Meet, so you have all the host control features. Okay, so this is one, which is chat. A second way is just through calendar. Let's say that you're going to meet your class during a scheduled time. Whoops, you just click a time, you set the date, the time period, and then you add a Google Meet link here. And then you also have to add the students to this. So just like the chat that I showed you earlier, these two are fixed. With the students, you'd have to actually change, delete students, and so on. So this might be a useful one if you want to create these for your classes that you'll be meeting every week. You can choose to repeat daily, weekly, and so on. So you can actually set this to automatically repeat for your classes. This would be an option to always have ownership to your Google Meet. So you could share this link with the students in Google Classroom, separate to the link that's in there, or you could just direct the students to Calendar. So this would be a second option. Okay, remember I'm trying to give you options to do breakout rooms. And then the third option, which I probably would recommend as the preferred one, is just go to meet.google.com. And then you just click on the plus to join or start. You can name this if you want. You don't have to. It's not necessary. And then you hit continue. And then you don't have to enter into this Meet all the way. You're just waiting for this to sync. And once it finishes, you have this link up here in the URL. So you would copy this link here. So this is one link that you now have access to. All right, and then what I'd recommend you do is in a Google Doc, you just write all these down, and you have a bank of them. So this is group 3. Okay, you have student 1, 2, 3, etc., and then you just paste the link here. Okay, these can be reused for your classes. These links are good for 90 days, so you don't need to be making 100 different Meet links. Make a bank of them and then reuse them. So let's say that I want to use these 3 groups for a class. There's 2 options. You can do a list view or a table. And the table I will show you right now does not work. Okay, so if I copy this table and I go into my Google Classroom, under the announcement is where I'd post these. You can't post a table into this announcement, so that's not going to work. So what you need to do is not make a table, but make just a list like I have here. And then you can just change the names for your different classes as needed. So if I paste this now, so I go to announcements, I add instructions about this assignment, and then I put the groups here. Notice that these links aren't clickable here, but once you post it, it makes it a live link, so the students would just click these. Now, what I would recommend that you do is when this class is finished using these breakout rooms, is you just delete this, okay? Therefore, they can't accidentally go into one of these meets if you're using it with another classroom. So once again, I would recommend that you just make these in meet.google.com. So just take a few minutes, make a bank of these meeting links. So you just click on the plus. You don't need to put a name in, just hit continue, and then it'll generate this unique link up here in the URL. There we go. There's the second one I just made. So you copy it, go to your list, and then there you go. Start making a list of these, and you can reuse them for 90 days. Okay, so that's like I said, I think the third is probably preferred because you have more control over the students. You can change them, you can reuse them. It's not permanent. And like I said, I would recommend that when you're finished with these for a particular class that you delete that announcement or that post. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.